Hey, y'all. Welcome to episode 219 of Consignment Chats. Today, we're going to talk about offers. What? What are you offering me?
I'll give you $1 for that shirt you have on. I
You
really like it.
offering me? No, my offers are here. Take this item at a cheaper rate. Get it out of my house. Yes.
Offers.
All right, we've gotten pretty worked up about offers. We've had some laughs. We've shed some tears. We've debated it. We've talked people into taking that. Like we have a lot to talk about with offers. And
everybody right now, stop and tell us in the comments what is the most crazy, ridiculous offer scenario or maybe story that you've gotten with an offer. Tell us about it in the comments right now because
I right now am going to go and read one that came when I was on my way to get on the ship, and I had to screenshot it and send it to Libby and Samantha because I was like, what the what? So before we go on, I just have to share this. These were a pair of 80s metal round earrings. I think I had them listed for like $11, $13, something like that. And of course, you know, we send the constant offers, right, when they like it. So they had gotten sent an offer. Well, they countered the offer and she put a message on there. And the message said, I know you gave me a great offer, but I know I'm really not very nice. I'm giving it a try because I'm desperate. And she sent an $8 offer.
did you take it?
I took it.
At least she knows herself. She's honest.
It was like that
very self-aware.
Right. I'm not a nice person. What?
That's awesome.
You sent me a very nice offer.
Oh, I mean, I thought of all the things you could say, like, I hope I don't offend you, but times are tight. You know, like, I'm not a very nice person.
I mean, you almost had to take it just for the, you know.
I know. So I screenshot, sent it to y'all, got on the ship, sat on
hilarious.
Like, I'm just going to take it because that was funny.
Sometimes that one's honestly, I don't even see half of those messages. Like I'm just looking at the prices and like, is it a good offer or not? I'm not. Sometimes I may be hindered not to take an offer just because they do send me a big long sap story, and I'm like, oh. I did one
way
time.
I can guarantee that I won't take an offer because you guys know about this, and you're going to find out as we talk. I will take just about any offer.
You will.
Just about any offer.
You will.
I will not. This is the one thing that just kills me if they insult the item in the offer. Like if they say, well, it's like really worn or it's not quite the right shade of green for me. Well, then don't make an offer. There's like a million things on eBay.
Walk away, man.
Yeah. So if they insult the item, man, that's my thing, man. Just don't do that if you're out there making offers. Don't insult the item. I don't want to work with you if you do that.
So I do have one time when I was a little petty with an offer. I accepted the offer. It wasn't about the offer itself. It was because they were like these round Afghan style pillows, like decorative couch pillows. And I mean, they still smelled like somebody's grandma's perfume. Like I got them from a garage sale for like $1. They were beautiful. The offer was like $60. I think I had enlisted for like 80 or something like that. So not a bad offer for something I got for $1. But the message with the offer was some sob story about I don't even know what, somebody's grandma, something, but it was kind of weird to me. So I was like, and their eBay name, kind of weird. So I looked up their address that I was shipping them to, and it was an art gallery that had many things in California, like bougie, that had many things that these pillows would be a great accent to. And it definitely went along with what they were. And I may have put a note in with that item stating that the message they sent was unnecessary. I would have accepted their offer anyways. And I really liked the look of their gallery. And I hope that these items fit in well with their other items.
Did you get a feedback on that?
No feedback. I think I even asked them to, you know, if you could send me photos and let me know how it goes or something like that. I went way too far. Yeah, so I don't recommend anybody do that. Luckily, it did not blow back on me. There was no negative anything, but yeah, there was
Yeah.
I
that.
mean, of all places to send a weird message like that, you would
Oh,
never expect
it
that.
was like my grandma passed away and times are hard and da 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 da. And then I went and looked and I'm like, there ain't no way times are hard in Beverly Hills or whatever it was. They're beautiful, beautiful thing. Yeah. I don't
Oh,
know.
jeez.
I don't know.
That's it. The thing about the sob stories is like I always get a little. I'll still take the offer most of the time, but I get a little bit like put out sometimes because I'm like, you have no idea who you're sending this message to. My sob story could be much sobbier than yours.
Right.
Could be much sadder
Right.
than yours. Like, I'm trying to support my family and make a living here. Like,
Right.
sometimes times are a little tough.
Yeah.
Don't send me your sob story, please.
Nowhere in
Yeah.
my branded logo is there a Red Cross. We are not the Red Cross. We are not donating our items. We're not giving blood.
Right.
Well, sometimes we do to people, and sometimes we do. Yeah.
Blood, sweat,
But not
and tears.
not to people we don't know. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. All
It's
right. So what, other than the offers that people send us, how are we feeling about offers today?
I want to know how we all have them set up. How do you have offers set up? Do you take off let's talk eBay first. Like Poshmark, like the other platforms all have like offer things, but eBay there's some specific setups per item you can do. So I kind of want to know, Samantha, how do you have yours set up currently?
So I don't do any automatic offers on eBay. Oh,
I just want to say real quick, mine are set up just like Libby's. So
well, sometimes.
No, that's not totally true.
Sometimes I've heard you say if Libby accepts that offer before I have a chance to go in and decline it, I swear. Like, so I don't have any automatic offers. There is a box you can check. Send this offer automatically for this item. You can do that per item on eBay. I do not check that box because I send 15 to 20% off offers on regular priced items, but I don't want it to send a 20% offer all the time for that item because next week it may be on sale. And if it's on sale, then I will lower that and do like a 10% offer. So, or even 5%, just depending on the item, how long it's been for sale, that kind of thing. So mine really depend on what it's priced at and if it's on sale or not. If it is something I want gone, something that's at the end of a consignor period, even if it is on sale, I might still push a higher offer to send to people just because I want my consignor to get the very best out of that. I want them to get as much as they can. So
what Samantha is talking about, so we're going to be talking about two different kinds of offers here. When the buyer sends you one, but what we're talking about now is the SIO is what you will hear it referred to in the eBay community. Seller initiated offer. It's where you go in and you send the offer to the buyer. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And you can allow counter offers. Do you allow counter offers when you do that?
I do. Yes.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I do as well. And
we
very
do
similar.
And I'd say even this morning, I counter offered their counter offer, and I'm waiting now for there may be a message sitting in the inbox because I don't know what the offer is that originally gets sent to them when they counter offer that, right? So you've got the SIO set up, it sends the offer, then they counter, and then I look at it, I'm like, no. And then I respond back at what I think I would take on it. Well, I did that this morning, and then it shows me after I do it that the offer I sent is actually more than the original offer your setup had sent it.
Mm.
Do you see what I'm saying?
I forget that. And I mean, you guys are trying to send offers together and coordinate it in one business. I forget that. So anybody from eBay, if you are watching right now, you're doing many things correctly. We love your platform. You're great. However, this offer dashboard that you have is terrible. It has all the functionality of a great offer dashboard. However, most of it does not work. So if you could just make all those pieces work so we could see the offers that are happening between our people. I do the same thing. I'll send out, because I'm one of those people that logs in every hour or 2 hours. I'm refreshing my eBay screen. I'm sending offers. In a couple hours when they counter, I have to go back and do the math. Like, okay, it's not on sale, so I must have sent 20% off. So what should I counter back? Because you can't just see what you sent versus what they sent until it's all said and done. Rant over.
Yeah, that's a good point. All right. So I do things very, very standard. So Molly, but it would involve mathing. So what I do is I go in, same thing, a couple times a day. I send, I don't know, we probably send 200 offers a day. So what I do is I do a standard amount for things that are on sale. It'll be 10% off for everything that's on sale that, that already has a markdown. And then I do 25% for everything that has not been marked down. So if it's not on sale, it's 25%. If it is on sale, it's 10%. And those numbers I'll tweak, but that's how I generally do it. And I just do it in bulk. It takes, I don't know, 30 seconds or so. Yeah. So
and you do those throughout the day, right?
Yeah. So that's the thing. I've heard people say they don't want to send them because I don't think I forget even what the rationale behind it was.
I don't know, but I know people just try not to be distracted either by looking at their eBay and things like that, which I totally get. If you're opening the app or you're looking on the site, I totally get that. I probably look at it too much, and I could cut it down a little bit because I in between tasks, I will go and refresh it.
A previous recent episode on time blocking. I'm going to recommend that you use your Google Calendar, episode 217, and you put an actual block or two in there for that. Just saying.
Yeah. Like I do it in the mornings and I do it in the evenings. I have blocks. Do what I do, Samantha.
Do what you
But what are the benefits to doing it the way that I do it?
So here's the thing is people will say, I want to make sure there's a lot of like watchers when I send it. I want to do it. But that actually backfires because what happens is like, if you're only doing it every couple of days, you're missing people because there are people that heavily browse the item. They're not necessarily watchers. Like you will see things that are available to send an offer where you have 0 watchers. And that's because somebody has been looking repeatedly at that item. And they'll fall off like over the course of, I don't know, 24, 48 hours. So you're going to miss out on sending a lot of offers if you're not doing it repeatedly. So, maybe that's once a day, maybe that's twice a day, but I would definitely recommend like at least every 24 hours, go in there, send the offers, if not more often. So you don't miss out on any of those people that want the item.
Yeah.
And all right, 40+% of our sales are, this is a good one, Molly, sorry. 40+% of our sales are due to seller initiated offer. If you are not doing it, think about why you're not doing it. Maybe you have a very legitimate reason, but 40+%, like closer to 50%.
Mine too. Yep.
My sales. Yeah.
Yep. Same. Offers are a big deal. And there are so many offers that I get, and it's like item is listed for $39 and they offer $35. Yeah. If I had sent you the offer, it probably would have been like 32. So yes, I will definitely take yours.
All day long. Yeah. Samantha, you were trying to say something earlier. Did you have, or did
you think that I remember that now?
Okay, I was wondering if that already got, okay.
Yes. No, yeah, that is the point. Because there are people that aren't hitting that heart. They aren't officially watchers, but eBay will still send traffic to you and send those offers out to people that are browsing or looking at things that are similar or things like that. So you do want to capture those when you can, because you may log in and see that you have 17 offers to send, and then you might log in the next day and only have 15 to send, or it'll say these ones aren't available. That's why they say they're not available. People aren't necessarily unwatching your items or doing whatever, but they already purchased something, and eBay is smart enough to say they already purchased a jacket like that. They don't need yours anymore.
Yeah. So let's say the other thing I've heard like new eBay sellers say is, I don't want to irritate my buyers by sending out too many offers. And eBay has regulations and parameters in place, so they are not just sending offers. And if somebody has it turned off, buyers can turn it off if they find it annoying. I've never gotten a message. I think eBay does a pretty good job of controlling that. So I wouldn't worry about irritating buyers or, is it going to send the same offer to the same buy? No.
Yeah.
It seems like the controls are pretty well in place to just take that off your mind. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I agree. That's one thing that eBay does well. So they just need to work on that dashboard and then we'll be good. Okay, eBay? All right, great.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I mean, they'll get more buyers, right? Because we won't be offending buyers by sending them a higher offer. Like, this is in everybody's best interest for this to be
Right.
really well done.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Just saying. Yeah. I liked that point, Samantha. All right. So we did seller initiated offers. Now there's something else that we need to talk about. Are on each individual listing, you can choose whether or not you accept offers.
Mm-hmm.
And you can set a high and low amount.
Yep.
So what do you do, Samantha? How do you handle that?
I do have it turned on for all of my items. It's just automatic. I accept offers. You can go into your listing dashboard and it'll tell you if you have them turned on or not. It'll tell you if you have, maybe 200 of your listings don't have offers being accepted. Like, I turn that on for everything. I don't set parameters. I don't have a low because again, it's going to depend on how long it's been sitting. Is it on consignment or not? I will entertain a vast range of offers.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I just leave it wide open for people. And I have found that even lowballers, I've gotten lowballed a lot. I counter them. If they come back with like $1 more or the same, I decline and I just move on. I'm not blocking anybody. I'm not yelling at anybody. I'm not any of that. But I will counter back and forth and it usually results in a sale. I will even put notes in there like $30 is my lowest. Like that's, the second time I've countered it. This is my lowest that I will go. This is a consignment item. And they'll either buy it or they won't, but why not have that open so that there are more opportunities? Absolutely.
Yeah. I mean, I agree with this. Oh, go ahead, Molly.
I just want to add in there for what you're talking about right now.
Giving me a high five.
High five. High five. I toyed around with doing it with a minimum because I was spending a lot of time getting gripey and snarky about all these lowball offers.
Mm-hmm.
So I decided to set minimums on my newer listings. This was what, Libby, probably about 8-9 months. It's been a while.
Yeah, a while.
So much so that I'm not doing it anymore. And here's why. It was a good test to see how it works, but it also doesn't work well because a lot of items, when I would go to make changes, like for my shipping policies, they would come up with errors. And the errors would be because whatever promotion you did on those items was more than the minimum. Do you see what I'm saying? Like you were offering on your SIO seller initiated offers that you would just bulk send out on a category. Maybe it was 25%, but I had marked the minimum of 20% off. So it errored that. And it would have.
Oh, I didn't even know that could happen.
Yeah,
okay.
Yeah.
So, and that's the thing is we may have different, when you have a feeling and a price point in mind when you list the item, but then the longer it's there or the more things change, you might get to the point where you're like 30% off is not that bad. Let's get it out of here.
Yeah. There are things I feel that way about. My problem is I am not a quick math person. I got Nick for that. And so we'll go through and we'll comp stuff, we'll buy stuff, and it'll be like, okay, well, we need to sell that for a minimum of whatever, Just so happened yesterday from a Walkman that we got at a estate sale Saturday morning, I listed it. We knew if it was working, they didn't have a way to test it. So they gave us a discount in the end when he realized, oh, I didn't test it. So we decided to take the risk, got home. Sadly, it does not work. But we knew already that it sold for parts, that we would at least not lose money on it.
Mm-hmm.
I listed it in what I thought would work, but I did free shipping because it was under £1. Well, it immediately, I guess, went on sale. So last night during our reseller reset, Nick comes frantically down and he's like, there's already 4 watchers. You have to change that because if you sell it now, we lose money. I'm like, well, first of all, I'm in a meeting. That's not like the house isn't on fire. We can deal with it when I get done. So I did in the listing and just relisted it and just added shipping because usually I do free. But I told Nick there's so many watchers on it that I don't want to. I'm okay ending and relisting, but I don't want to change the price to higher because to me that's more offensive.
Looks sketchy. Yeah.
To add shipping,
Yeah.
I just can say it was a mistake and change the shipping. They're still not going to pay a lot. It's like a 10-ounce item. But it still stops us on that discount from losing money. We'll then, we'll make $1 or $2. But I forget my point with all of that.
You said you don't like to do the math.
Yeah, I don't like to do the math for that very reason right there. Like, so when I go to list items and I just do my comps and do it. And then later I'm like, okay, if that goes 30% off, we lost money. Oops. And Nick will do that. Like he bought in Florida, a bunch of Tommy Bahama shirts. Well, a couple of them he picked to buy. They were $7 a shirt down there. Their Goodwills are more expensive than ours. Ours would have been $4.99. Well, these we had 2 of them in the same style. They didn't sell that well. Well, we sold one. And in the end, he's like, what? You took a $20 offer and da-da-da. I'm like, well, we didn't comp it. And
that's the thing. You can't, like, when your volume is as high as yours is, you can't nickel and dime every item. Like you just kind of, I believe you just have to look at the big picture. Yeah, you're going to lose a little bit on some, but you're going to way over, make that. Like you just can't. Now, if you're just selling a few items here and there, that's important. But once you get to the volume you are, like, I don't think it's that.
And that's why I used to worry about it. But I did learn from doing the test with the minimum, it's not worth it. It's just not, because then I would get messages too. Because my whole thing was I was tired of dealing with it. I wanted to weed out the low ballers and they were taking up my time and effort. But it didn't help because then I would get messages saying, I'm trying to give you an offer. Why won't it accept? Why won't it accept? Well, because there's a minimum set, right? Then dealing with those messages, which is taking my time and I'm losing money because I'm now having to do it. So I just quit doing it.
Yeah.
I just quit doing it. It's just offers across the board, no minimum.
I just want to say that if you do consignment for your items, there's a lot less math you got to do because I'm not going to lose any money on my consignment items. Whatever they sell for, I split it. There's not, or if it is an expired consignment item, I didn't pay anything for it. It was free. So
I agree. That's why I accept so many offers. So, all right. I have to agree, like, with the points you guys made on not setting a minimum, not doing that, because there's a couple other things I want to say about that. First of all, there are exceptions to what I'm going to say. I'm going to think of Jason the Santee Swapper. He has a niche business that is very specific. He can set a minimum and he cannot accept offers, and because of the volume of his store and people are coming to him for specific things, right? It's not like 40 other people have the same item on eBay, right? They're coming to him. All right, so that's one exception. I'm sure there are many more, but for most of us, setting that minimum is so, I think it's actually detrimental, because a lot of times people will send an offer with a message in it that says, oh, are these, pink or red or whatever, what they have a specific question. Yes, it's not the appropriate way to use eBay, but they'll send an offer and a question at the same time. If you have auto decline, guess what? You're not getting that message. Or auto accept. You're not getting that message. You might be getting a cancellation. You might have an unhappy buyer. And you're missing out on all that correspondence. So a lot of times there's a question. A lot of times people are checking to make sure you're a real person, that you're responsive. And I think that's really important. It's one way to establish communication with your buyers, and you're missing out on it if you have if you have it auto accept or auto decline. You're missing that. And I think that's a little dangerous.
Yeah.
So that's another reason that I don't like the auto accept, auto decline. The other thing is sometimes there's exceptions, right? Like I always have to use my one buyer. He consistently sends me really low ball offers, but he spends, thousands of dollars a year with me. And guess what? he's clearancing out the stuff I don't want to ship. I don't want to deal with. Like, I'm not taking lowball offers on stuff I want to sell. I'm taking lowball offers on stuff I want to get rid of. I want out of my, inventory.
Right.
And
Mhm.
if I had auto accept or auto decline on those, I never would have established the relationship I have with that buyer now.
True.
That has made me, it not only cleared out my inventory, but has made me a significant sum of money at this point. And
Yeah.
would have totally missed that relationship. And this is a local pickup buyer.
I was just going to say, and you
Yeah.
guys do free shipping on a lot of your items under £1 and stuff.
Mhm.
So if you can tell if it's a local deal, that changes the whole game, because you're willing to accept less because you don't have to cover the shipping on that item. And
Yep.
Yeah,
Mhm.
I do that very often when I look. If it's a Southeast and it's a little lower, I'll take it in a skinny minute because the shipping's not going to be as much.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And then if it's in California and they're lowballing me, I'll respond back with a counter offer, and I'll put in the notes, this is, like you said, sometimes I'll put, this is a consigned item. We cannot go this low at this time, and it is free shipping across the country.
Mhm.
Yeah. Right.
Meaning it's not that cheap anymore to send it to California from here.
Yeah. There
So
you
I'll
go.
put
Little,
that in
little
there.
back and forth.
I word it very nicely, but I
Mhm.
make sure that I'm getting the point across that, if I send you this for $15 free shipping from here to California,
Yeah. I have to do that in Mercari because all of my items are free ship in Mercari, and that's not very visible. I do it for me and my process, not necessarily because it's a good business move over there, but just because it's easier it's a business move for myself. So when people send me offers over there, they don't always see, they probably rarely see that it's free shipping. So I have to correspond back with them and let them know my price is this because of this. And they're usually good about that.
Yeah. Once they understand, because like we've said in episodes before talking about pricing and stuff, a lot of people are used to shopping places like Amazon and big companies where they don't realize that they're dealing with an individual small business.
Mhm.
And
Yeah.
that's why when I try to remember every time I correspond back with anybody through messages, thank you for supporting our small business, because I want them to know that, we're not somebody over in China trying to ship you a bunch of stuff. We're a small business.
It's a real good way to put your reason to put your face on it and have your
Yeah.
logo set up on all of your things. We're real people.
I did get an offer though last night. And I'm sorting with Samantha everywhere. Poshmark, I'm sorting with Sam, so I'm a lot more lenient over there because my whole name didn't fit. But somebody on eBay last night sent me an offer, a reasonable offer, in which I accepted. But she put in a message saying, "Thank you for considering my offer, Sam. I appreciate it."
And you're like, people don't call me Sam.
I accepted it without saying, "My name is Samantha." But that's okay. That's okay. I'm growing as a person. So she's
Your
gonna
name
be
is
like,
Girl, I
growing.
don't even know you. You call me Sam.
you don't have the right. Yeah. So I still accepted it. It's fine. It's fine.
Too funny.
It is hard in Poshmark though, with it being sorting with Sam, and I go into a live show or something, and they're like, "Sam," and I'm like, "No."
Samantha.
All right. So what do you say to people that get real worked up about the lowball offers? We talked in the beginning a little bit about some weird ones we've got. And yeah, we've definitely gotten worked up over some through the years.
Have.
I don't know, Libby. What did you say to me when I would get real worked up about lowball offers?
Who cares? Just decline it.
Decline
That's
it.
on them.
You don't need to block people.
Oh,
You
God.
don't.
For the love of God.
No.
Unless they insult the item and are really rude or use
they're
profanity or
rude.
something.
Right.
Maybe
But people are just trying to feel out a price point here. Back in the day when there were auctions and stuff, when eBay was more auction centric, you had your minimums, you could set a reserve. There were things that people, they knew what your low ball price was. And we as a people do not enjoy negotiating. Resellers talk about how awkward it is to go to a garage sale and dicker and negotiate with people. But then they don't see that from the other side too. When people are trying to negotiate and dicker with you, just because they sent you a lowball does not mean that that's what they were expecting from you.
Right.
That's not what they were.
Yeah.
They're just trying to find us a, you know, why not? What do you got to lose? You might as well. It's okay. I've sent some offers that may come across as offensive, but they counter, and there we go.
Except for that one guy who sent me an offer on a hat that literally had 0 flaws and sent me a lowball offer and said, by the time I wash this, get the spots out, put it through the wash and you know, it's going to take a lot of refurbishing. And Nick and I are looking at the hat going, and I wanted to say, it's just not that into you.
Listen here, bruh.
Listen here, bruh. You know that book, He's Just Not That Into You? Well, this just isn't that into you. Bye-bye.
You are not the right fit for this hat.
I've sent people messages like Molly, and I've definitely sent people messages like that when they insult the item or say things like that. You know, I just don't think this, same thing with consigners, right? This just is not I don't think this is a good fit for you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And most of the time they purchase it after you say that for whatever psychological reason, but I don't know why. But
and then you worry the whole time because you're like, it's going to get returned.
Yeah.
It's going to come with a lot of bad feedback, but they don't. I don't know.
They don't.
Yeah. You know what? They probably were just having a bad day. Somebody tinkled in their Cheerios and they weren't happy. That's all.
Did you just say that? Oh my gosh.
I did.
Tinkled in their Cheerios.
Well, I was trying to keep it as clean as I could.
I hope you've all had breakfast already.
And how many times have you gotten a real lowball offer? You sent out a reasonable one back, and they accept it. So they're just kind of like what Samantha said. They're just feeling it out. They're just making sure you're there, a person that's responsive. And
I have to say, lately though, the majority of lowballs that I've countered at a reasonable back have just not done anything. They have.
Yeah, a lot of them don't, but sometimes they do.
And I've always been of the mindset, when I give an offer to somebody, I give an offer of my hope, like what it would be. But I know that I'm really happy if we go here, right?
Exactly.
So that happened to me with this gorgeous vase at the estate sale this weekend. When it went 50, it was like $100 and something. When it went 50% off, it was going to be $80 something. And we were looking at it, and Nick was like, yeah, you know, I wonder if he'd go lower, because this guy, it's locally owned. He's phenomenal. And I pulled him aside and I said, is there any chance you'd go lower on this than the 50% off? I love it, but and he said, well, let me look. And I said, he goes, what were you thinking? I go, would you do 50? And he goes, oh, I can't go that low, but I'd do 75. And I'm like, okay, sold.
Right.
Yeah.
Yes. There's a decline button. I mean, if it's really appalling to you, just decline it. I've also declined and then had them send me a different offer as well.
I've had that happen for sure.
Yeah, that's a thing.
Yeah, just keep the lines of communication open as much as you can.
All right. Any other points on offers that we need to hit?
Well, that was just offers on eBay. Like, I mean, holy moly, we need to do another one just talking about all the other sites.
Well, I want to know, Molly, are you going to accept my offer on your shirt?
On this?
Yeah.
Declined.
Oh, blocked.
Did you just block me?
I just blocked you.
Samantha, she blocked me just because I declined her.
Oh my gosh.
You better get involved here, girl.
I'm a neutral party. Didn't you know I'm basically Canada? It's okay. I'm not in this. Not in this.
That's funny. That's funny. All right. We broke it down. We talked about offers. Don't get your panties in a wad. It's business. Use it as a good place for customer service. Build those relationships. If it's really that rude, just decline and move on. Yeah. Coming from somebody who used to get all worked up. And I'll still make a snarky comment to Nick every now and then. Don't think that I'm perfect with it. But
it's funny. Share it with your reseller friends. We love it.
Yeah. Do we grab that baby and send it forward?
Do we remember the time that I accepted an offer just because it was 222? I mean, I was like, that sounded fun. And then the next day I was like, why did I accept that offer?
Why did I do that?
I've had Wyoming on my, I'm just waiting for somebody from Wyoming to send me an offer. And no Wyoming. I've had all the states except for Wyoming.
I just want you to know that
Oh
we
my
got Wyoming.
gosh.
We got Wyoming. So Nick said that Wyoming would be the one nobody could get, right? I mean,
I have Wyoming.
State, very, very small population. It's going to be a toughie.
Do you have Alaska? You have Alaska.
I'm just waiting now.
You're just waiting on
Mississippi,
Mississippi,
Rhode Island.
Rhode Island.
Rhode Island.
Okay.
Mississippi, Rhode Island are what I have left to complete my map for where
what did you ship to Wyoming? I got to start sourcing this.
I don't know. I have to look.
Remember?
Would have to go back and look.
I honestly think mine were Lincoln Logs.
That sounds appropriate. Lincoln Logs. So,
all right, you know, I said I was going to give you those Lincoln Logs, Samantha. I'm going to get them out of the bag I have packed for you now.
Our competitive friend's about to list a bunch of Lincoln Logs because she's going to win this map challenge. She will take us down. Mm-hmm. All right, friends. On that note, I hope you all have a phenomenal week. And keep smiling, keep the customer service going, keep selling, and we're here if you need us, we got your back. Until next time, girls.
Cheers. Do you have Buc-ee's, Molly?
I do have Buc-ee's.
Oh, good times.
Okay.
Thank you for joining Libby, Molly, and Samantha, the ladies of Consignment Chats, as we grow your reselling business. For all things Consignment Chats, visit us at consignmentchats.com and join our free private communities on Facebook and/or Patreon.